Well, I want to talk about a different type of overwhelm. I said there were three different kinds of overwhelm. Another type of overwhelm speaks to your question, and that is the type that is just our everyday chaos. You mentioned having to change the sheets, make the bread for your mom who's coming in, take your kid to soccer. If we can be faithful and steadfast in our work and say yes to the things that are ours to say yes to, but also say a gracious no to other things, knowing those are not ours to tackle. If we can put together some practical um, handholds in our day to help our day run more smoothly, then that will also affect that other overwhelm that we were just talking about. Those things that are outside of your control are going to happen because Jesus promised that they would. In this world, you will have trouble. So there will be some things that will come into your life that you have no control over. But if you can get some handholds and some grasps on those normal everyday overwhelming things by putting together some good schedules, by putting together some organization, being steadfast, working faithfully in those things, when that other kind of overwhelm happens, when your child gets sick and you're, you know, taxiing him back and forth from the hospital a lot, or when your husband loses his job, or when your house burns down, when those tragic, overwhelming situations happen, you will be able to better handle the overwhelm of those because everything else is at a steady clip. Everything else is kind of on autopilot because you've put together some good systems in your life for those things.
Okay, so you've given us the two types of overwhelm. I need to hear the third.
Okay, the third type of overwhelm I think is really quintessential for our particular cultural moment. In this moment we're living in where our lives are a free for all look see for everyone. When we put all of our lives on social media, we are inundated with everybody's story. We can hear, 10 different plot lines at any given second by going online. The other type of overwhelm comes when we look at the lives of every other woman we know and we think that their causes, their callings, their giftings also have to be ours. And that comparison of, oh, like I said, she's making homemade fruit snacks. I guess I better be doing that too. And we add to our plate the things that actually are good things, but they're good things that God has given to someone else. And so those are the three types of overwhelm. You get overwhelmed when you reach for the callings of other women in your life. You get overwhelmed when you do not remain steadfast and faithful to the calling that God has given you. And you get overwhelmed when you feel like you have to control and fix and make solutions for the things that really are only God's to do.